Hello friends, today I am again with you, and now this time we are going to make a new preparation which is pav. In the local Bombay language it's called Ladi Pav. Ladi Pav is called because all the pav are interconnected, so they form a Ladi. Now today I have got my little friend Ryan, who is making his debut and who has been given this assignment to start his preparation of making pav. So have a little word. I will have a little word with Ryan. Ryan, how do you feeling about this occasion? Good. Have you got to say something to the to listeners, to viewers before you start your work?
Yeah, that we are going to make the Ladi Pav in today's session.
Fine. So step by step we will start this. Now first very important step is activation of the yeast. So Rian will show you where the yeast and the other ingredients.
So
now this you can see yeast
this is sugar.
and the sugar. Now you will wonder what is the role of the sugar over here. Sugar helps in activating of the yeast. Now these are two important things. They are mixed with about 1 cup of activation of the yeast by little chef. You can see he is putting the yeast from the packet into the spoon and then into the mixture of lukewarm water with oil, with the water. Yeah, after putting the yeast, you can see it's being stirred, and then it will allow to keep for half an hour. Yeah, yeast after getting dissolved, required quantity getting dissolved into the lukewarm water and milk with sugar is allowed to be left in the glass bowl covered with the top, some lid, and then keep it for about 30 minutes to 45 minutes until it froths, it bubbles out. We'll show you the condition after say about 15 minutes to show you what activated yeast looks like. Now the preparation number 2. We take maida flour, and we have taken 4 bowls of them and mix it with 2 spoons of salt, 2 to 2.5 spoons of baking powder into the maida, and mix it well and wait for the yeast to get activated, which is happening here in the closed vessel. And after that we'll be kneading the dry powder of maida with activated yeast. That step will show you after showing you the perfect condition of activated yeast. The preparation of yeast is very important factor in the making of pav. If it is not done properly, the whole game is lost. So one has to be very careful while making any bakery item. We had kept the yeast in the covered vessel for about half an hour, and you can say there's a nice froth. The yeast is swollen in volume. At top surface you can see it is bubbling. So this increase in volume and bubbling surface is the indication of the absolute activation of the yeast. This step is very important. If suppose there is no increase in volume or there is no froth at the top, it means the activation is not proper. that yeast is of no use, you have to discard that. So this is a most important aspect of making pav or bread. Now we'll be using this yeast for kneading the maida flour, and if need be we can use additional amount of water. That is all need based. There is no fixed rule for that. That is judgmental. So we have to see that dough is proper, not very thick, not very pasty, at the right kneaded mass before we take the next step. So next step will be just kneading with the yeast, which is a simple manual process using your clean fingers and palm, like we do every day for making our chapatis. As the process goes further, we'll keep you informed through our video. So here we are back. Our initial kneading process is over, and the initially kneaded mass we have put in a glass bowl with little oiling, or you can use even butter to grease it from inside so that the dough doesn't stick to the glass surface. While kneading this dough, we have made use of two teaspoons of butter also with little milk, so that the taste goes better. And then after this initial kneading, we will be covering it with a wet cotton cloth and allow it to be left in normal atmosphere. The wet cloth is used for humidity. The ideal combination of humidity and the atmospheric heat make it swell in volume. The more it swells, the better will be the sponginess of the pav. We will see after 1 hour what is the condition of the volume of this kneaded mass. Here, after waiting for about 1 hour or so, we are now ready this dough to be again kneaded as second time. You can see the entire mass has almost doubled. That's what is the yeast effect which must happen for a proper kneaded material. Now this swollen material will be put on a flat surface with little bit of maida so that it doesn't stick, and then it will be kneaded further vigorously so it becomes very light and soft, which is second kneading. Now it can be seen the finally second time kneaded mass has been divided into 8 equal size bowls and put in 2 different types of vessels. One is the microwave pot and other 2 are the aluminum pots. Care is to be taken before you put these small bowls of the kneaded item here. You have to grease the vessels so that they don't stick to the metallic surface. Now these bowls in these pots will be covered with a wet cloth and kept for another 1 hour so that they take the final shape, final swollen shape rather, to get the best effect of the yeast before they are baked. So we'll show you after 1 hour the shape, the sizes of these bowls before we bake. we have covered these balls in these three pans with a wet cloth, wet cotton cloth, so that the necessary moisture is imparted at the room temperature, so that the ball can finally swell in size for better fluffiness and softness of the pav. This is also very important step, because we shouldn't make any haste in baking. Now these yeast duff balls have been kept for 1 hour. Then you can very clearly see the gap between the balls have been all eliminated. They're more or less touching each other. That has been possible because of the swelling in size. Now before we put them in the oven, then we have to apply some coat of milk with some butter. The idea of doing this is to get some browning top surface, so that it can be baked very well from the top, and then gives a very beautiful look. So now they are ready for baking. We'll bake them in an electric oven, which should be preheated, and then the temperature is around 180 degrees centigrade, and then the timing depends on how much browning do you require, which has to be washed, and the moment you get the appropriate browning, you have to put the oven off and take them out. You have to take care they don't get burned. So our junior chef is so proudly showing his first baking. You can see the beautifully golden top color, and upper surface so beautiful, and now they are totally baked pav at home. Then you have to polish them with little butter and then allow them to cool and take it out from the mold gently. Don't allow them to keep it in the mold for a long time, and you are ready with your pav, homemade pav, delicious pav. Now you can see the second lot also has been completed after the baking. We have applied some butter on the top, and after little cooling we'll be taking them out of the mold and allow them to cool along with the first lot. So you have the entire lot of bunch ready, delicious, lovely browning, beautiful size, and hopefully very yummy also. I have not yet tasted them. So please do try this recipe and make your own pav along with the other preparations like bhaji, and enjoy them completely as homemade preparation. All the best to you. So friends, you can see the first preparation at home turns out to be a grand success. I just a small piece tasted, though it is pav, but they are more or less looking like a cake.